So what's going on, Box Chevy family? It's Box Chevy P back again with another one. As y'all can see in the title, man, I'm here to reluctantly tell y'all this story. A lot of my subscribers have been asking about it. I mentioned it maybe one or two of my videos, but I had a lot of people that hung on to that. You say certain stuff in videos, you don't realize people catch on to what you're saying, because sometimes you just find yourself going off rambling. At least I know I do. I'd be talking in the video before I know it. I've been talking for 5 minutes straight. But long story long, a lot of people ask me like, yeah, when you do a video about what happened when you bought your two-door box Chevy? This was 2 years ago now, but I'ma still tell y'all the story of what happened. When I bought my two-door box Chevy, I almost encountered a robber, or almost got robbed, I would say, or he almost got killed. I don't know how it was gonna go, but it wasn't gonna go as planned for him. I know that much. But let's get off into the story. So it all started with me searching for a two-door box Chevy. I was looking, wasn't having no luck. You know what I mean? If y'all know, the last two Chevys I just bought, I really just caught them right before the market shot up. So if y'all know how the market is with these box Chevys now, y'all know they through the roof now. So literally, and I bought my box Chevys a year apart. I bought my first box Chevy. Let me give y'all a quick backstory right quick too. I bought my first box Chevy, which was the two-door, in September of 2019. And then I bought my four-door in July of 2020. So it was almost a year apart, maybe about 10 months. So this is how I ended up buying both box Chevys. I was never planning on owning two box Chevys at once. Just so y'all know, that wasn't a plan, but it was God's plan because I own two of them right now. But what I did, I was looking for a box Chevy. At first, I was supposed to buy my four-door, and dude kept on playing with me. He kept playing. He kept spinning me. He's like, you can come look at it. You can come grab it. If you like it, you can grab it. This, that, and the third. He kept spinning me. So, and this was going on for like a year. I called him. He's like, oh yeah, you come look at it this date, and then spin me. But long story long, he ended up finally telling me, well, actually, no, I ended up buying a two-door because he was bullshitting me. So I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna look for a two-door. So I was thirsty at this point. So I'm like, I'm gonna find what I can find. So I ended up buying a two-door. And then right after I bought the two-door, maybe a year later, he hit me like, hey, no, I hit him, just checking in with him. Like, you still got this Chevy? He's like, yeah. He's like, you wanna come through, you can come through. But this time he actually let me come see it. So he said, come on through. And he gave me the address. I said, oh, he's serious now. So I went to see it. I already know I was grabbing it regardless. I already know what I was doing, putting the motor and all that. I didn't really care. So I went and bought it. So that's how I ended up with two box Chevys. Okay. Now on to the story about me buying a two-door and almost getting into an altercation or getting robbed, or however y'all want to put it. So I was in the market for a two-door, preferably a four-door. Well, no, actually I wanted a two-door more than a four-door. But if it was going to be a four-door, it was going to be an LS Broham. Those are my favorite four-doors, the LS Broham. And if y'all know cars, y'all know and it's not to knock nobody, but the hard top or the ball head four doors ain't as valuable as the Broham, and the two door is valuable, but the two door Landau is way more valuable. So the best two box Chevys to me, and this is for me doing my research and getting into the market, the most expensive box Chevys you're gonna end up running across is a four door LS Broham and a two-door Landau, you know what I mean? Preferably an 86. 86 for some reason is the more desirable year. Why, I don't know, but I noticed they've been going through the roof. But long story long, my two-door I was just looking for a two-door, four-door, whatever. I wasn't gonna go for nothing besides LS. It was the three things I was looking for: LS, Broham, a two-door box Chevy, which I really didn't want a two-door hardtop, but I took one, because it's really not a huge difference, or a Landau. So them was the three. Mind you, I just had sold 3 or 4 months prior to me looking. Again, I just had sold my 79 Landau. I just didn't like the big bubble back glass window. So I said, I'm gonna get rid of this thing. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't into it. I lost all interest in it and I sold it because I was building it from the ground up, and I just ended up saying, fuck it, I'm tired of it, and I got rid of it. I want an 80s model, so that's what I was going for. The search started. I started looking on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. So I finally ended up finding one on Craigslist. on Facebook Marketplace, which is the one I got now. I seen it was $6,500. I'm like, well, excuse me, this is a little higher than I'm willing to pay. At least at that time. Now $6,500 is a beautiful price for one of those cars, but 2 years ago, $6,500 was a little high for one of those, but it had rims on it. So I'm like, okay, if I take it, I'll take it, sell the rims for $1,000. I'm only paying $55 for it. That's what I was thinking at the time. So I was pondering on it. I looked at it, I chopped it up with him in a DM a couple of times on Facebook, or his inbox, whatever you want to call it. I was chopping it up with him, and I asked him about it, and I said, okay, I left him on red. You know, we talked, and you know how you just stop talking to people. So I stopped responding. I ain't saying anything else to him about it. So maybe a month or two go by, and then I see the car on there for, he had listed for $5,000 with everything. He had listed for $5,000 with everything, still with the rim. So he done went down a whole $1,500. I'm like, damn, he done went down $1,500. I'm like, damn, why this car ain't sold? It's been damn near 2 months. Because I started looking at it maybe in about June or July. And that's the first time I talked to him. So now at this time, it's September. I'm like, damn, why he ain't doing nothing with it? So long story short, the first car that I was telling you I was going to buy, this was another ploy dude. Had the first dude out there was going to send me my 4-door LS. He bullshitted me again earlier that week. That was another one of the times I spoke to him and he bullshitted me. So I said, fuck it. Now I'm thirsty. I want the other LS. So dude was like, oh man, you bullshitting. Because I kept talking to him, but I kept, you know, I leave him on red. I won't respond to shit because I wasn't sure if I was going to buy it. So this is the guy in Chicago who's selling me the 2-door now. So now I'm thirsty, like I said, because I was supposed to get my 4-door, and dude spit me again. So I'm like, you know what? Now I'm thirsty. I'm finna call dude back, see if he still got that one. Because now I got in my mind made up. I want me a box Chevy, and I want it now. So I ended up calling dude back. I'm like, he's like, oh man, you bullshitting. You don't want it. You don't want it. I'm like, yeah, fam, I want it. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, me and dude who I bought my 2-door from, we was talking weeks prior. I was showing him, he was showing me his other cars he had. I was showing him my truck. I had, you know, my Infinity truck I had on 28s. You know, we on FaceTime talking to each other. He acting real cool. You know, I'm like, oh, this is a smooth nigga. Showing him my truck on the 8s. He's showing me his other little cars and shit. So, and I'm showing him other cars I got for sale, because at this time I had just went and bought a few cars from the auction. So I even proposed to him, like, you want to trade one of these vehicles? I had like 3 or 4 other cars in my driveway that I had got from the auction that I just was showing him. He like, no, I'd rather take straight cash. I'm like, cool. So the day before I went up there, we had made a plan, like, okay, I'm gonna come tomorrow, I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow. So I was going to buy it regardless, but somebody ended up coming to buy one of my auction cars. The lady ended up buying my Nissan truck. She spent like $6,000 on it. She dropped me $6,000 on the truck. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can just take this money and go buy it. I ain't gotta go to the bank or dip in none of my other money. I can just take this little money up here and go buy it. So I talked to him on FaceTime, showed him, like, look, I got the bread, fam. I'm not bullshitting. I know how to chop it up with you, and I know how many tire kickers be on Facebook Market and Craigslist and all that shit. So I know how frustrating it can be. At least this is what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking he playing now. At this point, I'm like, okay, this is all a ploy. So not at that point, but afterwards, I'm like, yeah. When I thought it back through, I'm like, yeah, dude was just doing that to try to play like he was gonna be cool and I was on bullshit, but it really was turned out to be the other way around. So, and excuse me if I'm telling this story the long way. This is just, y'all got to just bear with me. So to make a long story short, we ended up meeting up. I said, okay, I'll come tomorrow and get it. He said, come today. I said, no, I'll come. Matter of fact, it was the same day. He said, come today and get it. I'm like, damn, he putting me on the spot. I'm like, fuck it, come on, I'll go get it. Just because I ain't want him to stop responding to me, because he had stopped responding at one point to me because he felt like I was bullshitting. But again, I was looking at other cars, so I wasn't sure if I was going to hit him up about that one. So he said, well, come get it today. And it's early in the morning, mind you. I'm just eating breakfast. I threw my breakfast to the side. I'm like, call my cousin. I'm like, hey, cuz, this is my closest cousin. I'm like, cuz, come with me to get this car right quick. I need to run up here to Chicago. He's like, damn, I ain't trying to go to Chicago. I got to do this, that, and the third. I got an appointment, do this, and that. I said, okay, let me see if I can get dude to meet us closer. So I called dude. I'm like, you can meet me halfway point where I can drive an hour. You can drive an hour, and we'll meet up there. So he's like, cool. So mind you, it's still early in the morning. So, and it's really like on the spot type shit. So, and then on top of that, he telling me like, he said, I get to you for 5 G's with everything. You give me 5,000, you can take it with the rims and everything. My pop just died. I need money for his funeral. This, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. Which he was telling the truth about that part, because I looked on his page. You know, when I'm buying shit from people on Facebook Marketplace, I ain't no green ass nigga, or I'm just no rookie where I just started doing this shit. You know, I look at people's pages just to see if they really got the car, or just to try to fill them out a little bit. I'll go on somebody's page, click on their profile pics, and you just go through their pictures just to try to get a feel of what type of person they is, because you know, it's a lot of scammers out here. So I went on his page, I see that his father really had passed away, and he was keeping it 100 about that part. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm finna go out here and meet him. Mind you, I never been out to Illinois to buy no car, never. At least not from no dude. I'd have been to the auction out there, but I never been out there to buy from no private owner or no niggas, you know what I'm saying? So, long story short, my cousin came, we ended up shooting out there. He agreed to meet me halfway. So we ended up shooting out there, and we ended up meeting him at Gurney Mills, which is the halfway point, like between Wisconsin and Illinois. So when we get to Gurney Mills, I'm thinking like, damn, I'm registered to carry my firearm, so I keep my firearm on me. I got licensed to carry, but then when we get past the state line, I'm like, oh shit. Well, we didn't go past the state line. We got, it's like right on the border. We met on the border because we ended up going to Gurney Mill, but we didn't end up meeting there. So long story short, I left my gun in the car and all that shit. I got there, I called dude. I'm like, what's up? We here. He like, yeah, I'm gonna be there in like 20 minutes too. So 20 minutes turned into 40 minutes. I called him, where you at? Oh, I'm 20 more minutes out the traffic. I got back there, called him again. Another 20 minutes passed. Oh yeah, I'm almost there. I'm like 5 minutes up. Another 20 minutes. I'm like, fuck this shit. So, but I'm thirsty. Keep in mind, I'm thirsty to get me a box Chevy because I couldn't find a clean or half decent car nowhere. So I ended up waiting on him. I said, you know what? Let's just go in the mall and shop a little bit. I left my pistol in the car. We go in the mall and shop. So me and my cousin started shopping. I'm just doing a little shopping stall. And mind you, I was shopping for about an hour and dude still hadn't got there. Then he finally called me like, okay, I'm pulling up. So actually we shopped, got back in the car, and we still sat there about another 20, 30 minutes. The cuz was getting frustrated, like, man, let's get up out of here. I'm like, look, cuz, I'm thirsty. I want me a box Chevy. I need this box Chevy. You know what I'm saying? And if I'd have never bought that box Chevy, y'all probably wouldn't know who I am right now if I'd have never got that Chevy that day. But I ended up waiting. He ended up coming. After we shopped for an hour, we still got in the car. He still took another 30, 40 minutes, but he finally finna pull up. He's like, I'm finna pull in, where you at? I'm like, I'm in such and such. You know, I wasn't in my car. I was in another gray Infiniti truck, you know what I'm saying? I was in another QX60 Infiniti truck because I didn't want to drive mine on the highway with the 28s on it. So I left that park and I jumped in another truck or whatever. So he say he pulling in. I'm like, where you at? I'm like, I'm such and such. He's like, what car are you in? I told him what car I'm in. And at this point, I've been waiting. And then I got to get my kids from school too, in another hour or two. So I'm really pressed for time at this point. So I tell him what car I'm in. I know why he asked now, but he asked the car I was in. He pull in, and it crossed my mind now, but it didn't cross my mind then. He pulled right in the Infiniti I was in. He parked right here, so he blocked me in. I didn't really think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, he in a box Chevy. And now I'm to the point I'm so agitated to where I really don't even want to test drive it. I just want to do the transaction and get up out of here. And for two, I already knew I was changing the motor to an LS swap, so I really didn't give a damn. Like, shit, if he drove it an hour and some change here, I know it run, so I don't give a fuck. As long as it make it back to Milwaukee, I don't give a fuck what the motor and transmission doing, as long as it make it back, because I'm LS swapping this thing. I already had that all planned out, that I was LS swapping it. So at this point, I don't even care to test drive the car because I know what I got planned to do to it. So dude ends up pulling up, and he got another dude with him. I'm like, damn, where y'all ride at? He like, that was the first red flag. I'm like, where y'all ride at? He like, oh, they finna come. I'm like, damn, nigga, you here with another nigga and you ain't got no ride home if I'm finna buy the car? So a few minutes later, another car pull up, a girl in the Benz truck. She pull up and she bag in. So she pull up and bag in, like in a couple of spots over. He like, oh, there got my ride right there. I'm like, okay. So I'm and then still in the back of my mind, thinking like, why do dudes still got this car for $5,000? This is a good ass deal with 26s and this car from Texas and no rust. Mind you, they had no rust on it. It was clean as hell. You know what I'm saying? It was a little sunburn and shit, but it was a clean car. All its chrome and everything. So I'm like, what's going on? The title, it was something that just was popping in my head like something gonna be wrong because this car been on here too long for this good price. So he get there, he get out the car. I'm like, what's going on, fam? We chop it up. Mind you, I told y'all we've been on FaceTime weeks before that, talking several times. He was real smooth, cool, but now he acting sketchy when I get there. He's like, oh, what's going on? He was still acting cool when he got there. Shook my hand, did it, and okay, what's happening, fam? We've been waiting on you for a minute. Let me see the title. I'm gonna match the VIN number up. Boom, 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 boom. Walk around the car, look at it, pop the hood, look under there, did all that good shit. I say, okay, we good. Let's go. He like, you don't want to test drive? I'm like, no, I don't want to test drive it. Shit, we gotta go. Cuz gotta go, and I gotta get my kids. So come on, let's do this. He's like, okay, so where the bread? I'm like, oh, here go the bread right here. So where the title? He hand me the title. So I give him the bread. I give him half of it. He start counting it out. He like, okay, where the rest of it? I'm like, it's right here. I said, where the title at? You know, because I ain't finna give you all my bread and you ain't handing me no keys or no title. So he handed me the keys and the title. Actually, the car was still running. So I told my cousin, as soon as we got out, I said, hey, cuz, because a red flag went up. I said, cuz, go get in that car and sit down, go sit there. You know, go get in the driver's seat right quick while me and dude talk his business. So, and he got another dude just standing there looking, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really saying much. They asked, oh, y'all from around here? Y'all from this and that? And I'm like, and then I see dude got some, like, he got shot or something. He had like some bandages on his arm. You can see he had got bullet holes and shit in his arm. So like, these some different type of niggas. You can tell they're some grimy ass niggas. And mind you, I ain't no green ass niggas. I'm from the streets too. I done been around the block. I'm just gonna say that. You know what I mean? So I ain't just no green fool who finna just pull up. Oh, here go my money, man. Again, you know, I'm watching. You know, I've been up in the streets my whole life, so I know how this shit goes. So, and I can sense when something ain't right. So I'm still not sensing it at first until I told Cuz go get in the car. When dude kept on counting the money, he kept counting back to back to back, putting it up in the air, counting. I said, fam, what's happening? You see the money good? What you on? He goes, oh, I'm just making sure because you know it's a lot of bullshit going on, and niggas cheating niggas and giving them fake money and this, that, and the third. So I'm like, shit, nigga, you can see all the money real. He still got half of it. He gonna say, where the title at? After he counted the money, he gonna say, where the title? I'm like, it's right here. He said, let me see it. I said, okay, well, let me see that money. So he handed me the money back. He handed me the title back. Now at this point, this is where my antenna's going up. I'm like, okay, something going on. He trying to get something going. And his cousin over there standing by my cousin and holding us down. So my mom, okay, we finna have to whoop these niggas or something. But these niggas, and my cousin, mind you, he a big nigga too. He ain't heavy as me, but he a big stalky motherfucker too, though. You know what I'm saying? So, and these niggas, they some little frail niggas, you know what I'm saying? So they know if we get the thump on, they finna get whooped. So, long story short, Cuz sitting in the car, he not really seeing attention right now, but I'm peeping attention. And mind you, my gun is in the truck, you know what I'm saying? But we still standing at the truck. So when he took the title back, he like, he just looking at the title guy. I'm like, what's up? I said, you wanna do this? Cause I'm getting frustrated at this point. I'm like, what's happening, fam? You stole it. Do you wanna sell a car or not? He's like, oh yeah, I'm just making sure everything was. So he get the title back, and then he like, where the money at again? I'm like, give me the title. So when he threw me the title that time, I threw it in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck that, I threw it in the car. So he started counting the money. Then he goes to the car while my cousin there, he leaned in there while the car running, the old school, the two-door box Chevy, it's running. He leans in there and take the key out the ignition. So, okay, I said, okay, now there's some bullshit, something going on. I said, what's going on, nigga? He like, you know, I'm just checking, I'm trying to make sure, give my house keys ain't on here, and this, that, and the third, and yada, yada, yada. So at this point, I'm like, okay, something's going on. So he counting the money still, but he keep putting it in the air, but he's stalling. I'm looking around like, damn, is he waiting on somebody else, or they finna pull a pistol? I don't know at this point. At this point, I'm at my wit's end. I'm like, okay, if something finna happen, I'm finna at least have a chance to defend myself. So I go to the car while he keep counting the money. I got the title in the car. He just took the key out the ignition. Somebody looking for his keys on it. So I'm like, okay, let me go grab my heat out the car. So I ease to the car. I had a Nike jogger on. I ease in the car, and he's standing about in front of the car counting the money. And he steady counting it back to back. He know that that's right, but he keep counting, like stalling. So I lean in there and I grab my 40 out the armrest. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm grabbing it, putting it in my waistband, like in my holster in the waistband, actually I ain't even put it in my holster. I stuck it in my pocket because I'm like, I'm finna have to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to have to do that, but that's what it was looking like. I wasn't left with no choice. I was finna have to defend myself. So I stuck it in my pocket, and there was already one in the head. So I'm like, shit, I'm finna have to unload on these niggas. And I really didn't want to go there, but that's what they was leaving me at, because I'm feeling something going on fishy, which it was. So as soon as I get the pistol out the car, as I'm sticking in my pocket, I just happen to catch eye contact with him, and he looking down at my pistol. So he see I got a pistol now. So he give me the key, like, oh, here you go, fam, we out of here. He told this guy, oh, come on. And they took off, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy part, he took off so fast that he was supposed to get another $300 from me, but once he seen my gun, I guess that diverted him from his plan. So he ended up saying, come on, and he left me with $300 basically. So I told my cousin, I said, go ahead, pull off. And he pulled off, and dude was pulling off, and I pulled off too, you know what I'm saying? So when we pulled up, I called cuz, like, you see what just happened? Them niggas was on something, this, that, and then, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But what they was planning on doing was, he wanted me to test drive the car. And now I noticed, I didn't notice then, that's how God worked, because I was so agitated from waiting on him that I didn't even want to test drive the car tomorrow. I probably wasn't going to test drive it in the first place, just because I knew it ran good enough for him to drive it there. And plus I was pulling the motor out as soon as I got it back home anyway. So I really didn't give a damn to test drive it at this point, because I was going to redo the whole car. So, but if I would have test drove that car, if I would have ended up test driving that car while my cousin was still sitting in the car, him and dude was going to get in that car, they was probably going to jump me and push me up out of there or something, you know what I'm saying? That's what the plan was, and it had to be, he had to do that to at least a few other people, because that car was too nice for him to have it that long. I just was a different type of customer. He wasn't just finna get me, you know what I'm saying? And no, ain't nothing worth dying for. If you got the ups on me, you can have all this shit, you know what I'm saying? But he seen that I had that thing on me. I'm pretty sure in Chicago, they gun laws are stricter, so he might not have had no heat, because I'm pretty sure if that's what he was planning on doing, he'd have been pulled it out. So they probably was planning on strong arming, like, okay, we're going to strong arm this nigga once we get him by himself, you know what I'm saying? So by me having that pistol, that cut all the shit in half, and he hit it. So that was that on that, man. So then when I got back, he's just gonna send me a message. Oh yeah, I got some more cars for sale if you want one. I said, fam, you think I ain't realize all that fishy ass shit y'all was on? He said, what you talking about? I said, nigga, I'm a street nigga. I see what you niggas was on. Y'all was on some sneaky snake shit, you know what I'm saying? He like, oh no, fam, we wasn't on nothing, see what you talking about? I'm like, nigga, come on now, stop even responding, nigga. I ended up blocking the nigga. And then I got back, I'm like, let me make sure this title right. I went straight to the DMV. Everything was good on the paperwork because they had a Texas title. It just came from Texas. Everything was good on there, but that could have been a close call. That could either cost me my life or it could have cost dude his life. And I don't want to have to do no shit like that. Like I said, I'm not here looking for trouble, but goddamn it, I ain't gonna run from it either. You come my way with something, and I wasn't for a second scared. You know what I'm saying? Because I done been in these situations before. Like I was more angry than scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the only thing I was scared of is having to go sit down and tell these motherfuckers why I killed this nigga. I don't want to deal with these white folks. I would have shooting this nigga apart. I'd have did that shit in a heartbeat if I had to in fear for my life. You know, if I had to protect myself, but I just didn't want to have to sit down and talk to the police. Oh man, well, I shot him. He tried to rob me. They doing all this. You know how I be. I'm a black man, so it can go either way. So just a word of advice, when y'all buying cars, and I told myself this from now on, I said, I'm not going, you gonna come to me or we ain't gonna do it. Because he kept telling me he'd come to me, but he never did. He kept saying, I'll come there if you want me to. If you're serious, I'll come there. I showed him the money. I said, well, come on. He kept making the reason why he wouldn't come there. So he wanted me to come to him. And like I said, when I got there, his whole demeanor changed. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't cool as he was on the phone. He acting real serious, counting the money, acting real weird. He wasn't acting friendly at all. So that's when my antennas went up. And like I said, I ain't a friendly nigga from the jump. So I didn't pull up on no friendly shit. I just pulled up on some, let me buy the car shit. I'll never change my game face. When I'm doing business, and I always told my nephews that be with me and my cousins the same shit, keep your game face on. These niggas don't know you, you don't know them. So don't show no sign of weakness or joke with them. I don't do no joking, nothing. I be straight game. What up, fam? You want to sell it? Whatever. I don't smile. I don't joke. I don't crack. I don't do none of that. So if you go buy a car from somebody, I tell y'all this all the time. Make sure you know what you're doing or meet them somewhere public, which I did. I met him in Gurney Mill parking lot. This is where all this shit was taking place at. Met him in Gurney Mill's parking lot. And shit, it could have went ugly. So beware who y'all buying cars from, man. Take this as a lesson for me. And I wasn't gonna tell a story, but I said I'd go ahead and tell y'all. But take that as a lesson, man. Like I said, I'm pretty sure dude got plenty other people like that before I came, but I just was the wrong one. So I ended up leaving with the car. But the other folks, he probably did that to some green ass niggas calling, because I'm a car salesman and I know how many people call you, hey, I got the money ready. They easy to get, because you see they so anxious to get the car. They not thinking something else can go wrong. They just want this car. They not thinking about nothing else. And that's where they go wrong at. So always keep in your mind that some bullshit might happen. No matter how cool the nigga act, how friendly he is, keep in mind that always something else can happen. So that's that story, man. And if y'all get in the comment section, let me know what y'all think about that story. Do y'all think I was right in the situation? Do y'all think I was wrong? Think I was overreacting? Or do you think I probably was dead on with what the nigga was doing? But if you're sitting here watching this video right now too, I appreciate if y'all hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section if y'all want to do more story times. I got a million stories about shit that goes on that's very interesting. So if y'all want me to do story time once a week on the channel, y'all let me know too. We can do that. I try to break them down a little better. Y'all know me, I always talk the long way, so it end up coming out longer, but y'all still get what I'm saying. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I appreciate all y'all for watching, man. Till next time, we got some heat coming. Catch y'all in a minute, man. Peace.